Wow, we've had quite the change of heart. Cam thinks Baylor's going to blow out Auburn.
You are Locked On College Crossover, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yes, this is a crossover edition of Locked On Auburn and Locked On Baylor. I'm Zach Blackerby. He's Cam Stuart. Cam's got trivia questions towards the end, as well as running back situation. Since we last spoke, Baylor's down a running back. What does that mean for this matchup? But Cam, I mean, you went viral in the Auburn corner of the internet for saying that Baylor, you and Drake, Toll of Locked On Big 12, saying Baylor is going to dominate Auburn. Mm-hmm. We've done several shows. We've both agreed that we thought this was going to be close. Why the pivot?
Well, look, I see the vision is more of it, Zach. I see the vision. I do have a lazy eye, but I see the vision. Okay. And that vision is, as we've kind of talked about, game one, like this, I look at this differently if this is game 4. I do, but I see still like not the most positive news coming out of the Auburn camp that I'm listening to on Locked On Auburn. You know, that Jackson Arnold needs the confidence boost. I know people love when we talk about that. The defense winning a scrimmage and not having one clip where Jackson Arnold's got a good back shoulder throw or he's hitting somebody on a deep ball. Nothing. And I'm like,
since then, I mean, reports have come out. Jackson Arnold's bounced back. He's finding Cam Coleman for 50-yard bombs. I mean, that's been pretty well reported. So, I mean, are you basing this off of just one scrimmage or an early scrimmage in fall camp where a defense dominated? That's crazy.
Yes, that's because that's all I've seen from them. That's all I've seen from them, Zach. That's all I can go off of. The glaring Hugh Freeze quote that he didn't back down. A lot of Auburn fans have backed it down, but Hugh Freeze himself did not. And yes, the fact that he didn't shine in the first scrimmage. That's because that's what I can go off of now. I can go off of Jackson Arnold's numbers from last year, in which he didn't throw a lot of interceptions. I don't know if you know that. Didn't throw a lot of them, but didn't throw a lot of touchdowns and was playing in just a really archaic offense. As we've talked about, not all the way his fault, but it's still like that's what it was. And I see Sawyer Robertson from last year being one of the best kept secrets in all of college football at the quarterback position, to then go through a year where he is the starter. He has a top 10 offensive coordinator. He has weapons. Doesn't have Cam Coleman, but has some legit weapons on that side of the football. And I can go more off of what I've seen from Sawyer Robertson and be confident than I can off of what I've seen from Jackson Arnold and be confident. So, yeah, I think if Baylor can force some turnovers, if they can, which I have admitted, it hasn't been the case the last 2 years, but if they can do that, which with the kind of personnel they have on this defense now, they're not going to be an elite defense, but they should be able to turn people over. If they do that, they can run away with this game. I'm going to stick to it.
I mean, you keep talking about, okay, what you've seen about Sawyer Robertson and what you haven't seen with Jackson Arnold. Mm-hmm. And I think we can agree. Sawyer Robertson
and haven't seen from Auburn the last 5-6 years.
Sure. Sawyer Robertson, same situation. Jackson Arnold and Auburn, I think it's a different situation than what we have seen for them. And that's why there's hope and excitement around this program. Sawyer Robertson and Baylor's offense, I mean, didn't do well against good defenses last year. The few that they played, the only top 60 defense that they beat last year was Houston. Auburn had the top 60 defense. They would have ranked 31st in scoring defense a year ago. And in that game against Houston, it wasn't Sawyer Robertson. He threw 3 picks.
He was bad
in that game. Yep. So once again, like, you can talk about guys coming back and what you've seen so far against, you know, the lower half of the Big 12, which they don't control that. They don't control who they play, much like Auburn doesn't control who they play. But against good teams, like you're saying all of a sudden now, like since everything's changing, even though the personnel's not, like, oh, I like what I see with Sawyer Robertson. That just, it doesn't make sense to me, this pivot. Because like a week ago, it was close, and now all of a sudden you feel so confident despite even losing a guy who's going to be a part of this offense in your backfield.
Yes, to be fair, the clip was before we lost Dawson Pendergrass. But yes, I still, looking more into it, I think that this just matches up well for Baylor in a week 1 matchup. And I know, I guess not top 60, allegedly.
But specifically, where is the matchup that you think that you looked at more and you're like, I like this specific matchup in Baylor's favor?
Just
Where is
seeing, hearing from Dave Aranda how much better the defensive ends and linebackers look this year, and that their pass rush is actually going to be better. Like, he's talking about standouts from camp, and it's young guys and transfers, mainly transfers, that have come in and are going to play in that linebacker spot and that defensive line spot, which we've talked about was big question marks for me. And now, they haven't played a game yet.
Feel better about it.
It's starting to feel more like check marks than question marks. And if that's the case, where we do look at Jackson Arnold last year, not for Auburn, a lot of those issues was because he was running for his life, right? Playing at Oklahoma. And if Baylor can throw in some looks and can get to the passer, which is what it sounds like through fall camp, which I do put some stock into, then I think they can make Jackson Arnold's life difficult. And as we've talked about, where we both think, which I have said in the past, I do think Jackson's going to take a step up this year. I think he's going to be better than he was at Oklahoma. I think that's almost tough for him not to do. But if it's going to look like a game where he's playing at Oklahoma last year and he's starting to see the ghosts like he did in Norman last year, then yeah, that's where I find the confidence in Baylor. That's where I feel better about it, and thinking about, more of the continuity of this offense. And, not for nothing, it wasn't top 60, but Sawyer did have a pretty good game last year against an SEC defense in LSU. He kind of lit them up for 450. They didn't win the game, but
you pointed out going into it that everybody opted out and they should win. And
yes,
it was against LSU's backups.
Yeah. LSU's JV, the reserve team. Yeah.
Sure. Which is still better than most of the Big 12. So that's fine.
Apparently. And BYU was one of the best defenses in the Big 12 last year. Like, that was a huge reason they won 11 games and kind of surprised a lot of the country. I think they had a really good outside shot at the college football playoff if they had made the Big 12 championship game. And Sawyer had a good game against them too. He threw 3 touchdowns against them. So yes, his worst game of the season did coincide with the best defense he faced, which is tough.
The best defense he faced in a win.
Yes, best defense he faced in a win, because they did not win that BYU game. They were down 14-0 pretty early, through no fault of his own. But he did perform well against that defense.
But one of the things that you and Drake talked so much about when you were comparing the quarterback situation at Baylor and at Auburn is, you guys were almost laughing, talking about how different, Sawyer Robertson was and better he was at, when it comes to efficiency. And Jackson Arnold, in what you said, an archaic offense, I 100% agree, had a better completion percentage when you talk about efficiency and taking care of the football, and a better
by 0.2%. By 0.2%, a better completion percentage.
But we're talking about level of competition and system. I think we all agree Oklahoma's offensive system was a joke. That's why they thought that. They moved on and got, a new OC and a new quarterback for that. They worked together at Washington State, which is great. That's exciting. But you're talking about, a top 10 OC in college football. Yep. And it's 62% against the Big 12 defenses. Wow. Well,
look, when I'm looking at these,
Robertson.
When I'm looking at these top 10 returning quarterbacks list, I'm not seeing Jackson Arnold on there.
That's okay.
I'm not seeing Jackson Arnold Heisman odds. I'm seeing Sawyer Robertson.
And I don't think so. And I don't think Jackson Arnold's a top 10 college quarterback. But what you guys said was that there was a drastic difference as far as quarterback efficiency and taking care of the football. And statistically, that is not true.
Yes, he didn't throw as many picks as Sawyer Robertson did.
Okay, great.
Sawyer Robertson was also much.
I would agree. I would agree. All right, let's talk about the running back situation, because will it play a factor? I'm curious your thoughts. That's next, right here on this crossover edition of Locked On Baylor and Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Can you imagine wagering anywhere other than with our friends at FanDuel?
Just got to keep up with them. But no, I can't.
Yeah, a lot of line shifting for this game. Really never seen anything like it. It's kind of wild.
It's pretty nuts.
It's pretty strange that the shifts are that drastic, for sure. But Auburn, as we sit here, 2.5-point favorites. We'll see if that happens next time we talk. It seems to move every time we do a crossover. Maybe the odds makers are listening to the show. I don't know. No clue. But you can head over to FanDuel right now. First $5 bet that wins, you get $150 in bonus bets. That's free money, Cam Stewart.
I like free money. Zach, I like free money.
Yeah. So head over to FanDuel.com or download the FanDuel app today. And once again, win that first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed at FanDuel.com. It's a crossover edition of Locked on Auburn, Locked on Baylor, Cam Stewart, Zach Blackerby. So we've got some roster news, I think, on both sides of this and how it impacts the matchup. Let's start with the Baylor side of this. Dawson Pendergrass, friend of the show, Lindsey Crosby, said he missed a prime opportunity to play lacrosse with that name.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to start
guy,
taking offense to that. I'm going to start taking offense as a former lacrosse player. I don't
think it's a bad thing. No, I don't think you should take offense at all. I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's too late. I'm offended.
Okay. All right.
Lindsey.
All right. Caught some passes, was the number 2 rusher a year ago. How big of a deal is it for this game?
It is a big deal. Because I don't know if it's like a make or break in a game, and I don't know if they cost them more than a game or so to not have Dawson Pendergrass throughout the length of the season. Because I do actually believe in the running back depth they have. They have a true freshman who was raising eyebrows before he was thrust into this situation. But Pendergrass was, I almost don't even know what to call him. I guess technically a change of pace back, but he really did a lot of the same things that Bryson Washington did. They were both excellent blockers in the pass game. And Dave Aranda is now raving about Caden Knighton, that true freshman, who has been excellent in pass blocking. It's a good running back name, isn't it?
100%.
Good. Like
Knighton?
that dude. Yeah, that dude doesn't play left tackle though. Caden Knighton.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
And so anytime you're looking at how impressive this Baylor offense was last year and you take a big piece out of that, like that's gonna hurt. In terms of this game in particular, again, to use it for the Baylor side, like I did with the Auburn side, it's week 1. And so you want as much continuity as possible. You want guys who have played snaps out there. And behind Bryson Washington, you're going to have a guy who's not taken a college football snap as a true freshman. Like that, that is a big difference.
I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised. And I'm proud of you. So much pride coming from me for you.
Okay.
I just knew.
Why is this?
I knew you were going to find a way to make that somehow negative about Jackson Arnold. I didn't know how you were going to do it.
Somehow,
I kept waiting for it to happen.
I find a way,
And
man, all the time. I find a way. I
but
just can't stand guys who have 2 first names. I can't stand it.
Yeah, Cam Stewart, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Those
jabronis.
100%. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So they like the freshman, and I think running back is a position where a freshman, if they have the scheme fit and the talent, like that checks out.
And can I shock you even more in terms of this game where it's going to hurt Baylor and it might not help my fans here? Auburn, kind of middle of the pack last year, rush defense in the SEC top half. They would have been number 2 in the Big 12 for yards per game. That's
correct.
That's a big difference. They would have been number 2 in the Big 12.
And I've also predicted that Auburn, I think, has the leg up in the trenches. And I do think when you talk about a change of pace back, a lot of the times they're asked to kind of do those chip blocks on the defensive ends to, then they kind of maybe, get onto the flat or whatever. Freshmen, that typically seems to be the thing that keeps freshman running backs on the field as much as on third down. And so does that change how you have to use Knighton and Washington? Possibly, since you love this offensive coordinator, top 10, so they say.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's something he's thinking about.
Yes, and I think
football.
Which I very much agree with. If you look at the track record,
somebody who I know and respect once said that for sure.
Yes. So looking at that, and one of the reasons why I love having a big matchup like this week 1, and we talked about this from both Hugh Freeze and Dave Aranda, and I guess Jake Spavital's vantage point as well, is having so much time to prepare for it. That was 8 months to prepare for it, more or less 4 months after the transfer portal. Now it's 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks by the time he was hurt. That is a lot different. But yeah, I do trust Jake Spavital to mix things up
among offensive coordinators in college football.
I'd probably put him top 10.
Okay.
Is that fair? I put him.
That's what I've heard.
I'm thinking even top 10. Yeah.
I've heard.
I don't think there are 10 better than him.
Yeah.
Although where's Brian Harsin?
What did you think about Oklahoma's offense last year?
Draconian.
Bad, right?
Brutalist.
Their starting quarterback took care of the football more than Baylor's last year.
Yeah, that's because Baylor's cutting it
crazy.
Loose, man. They're taking chances. All right. Rex Grossman didn't throw as many picks as Brett Favre. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe interceptions are a good thing.
I should check that, by the way. I don't know. He might have, but you know what I mean.
Probably not, right? Probably not.
Jeff George. No,
Probably
he threw
not.
a lot too. He threw a lot too.
On the Auburn side of it, just so Baylor folks know, it's kind of been, depending on who you ask, up in the air on Malcolm Simmons, Auburn's number 3 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Everything's been cleared legally. That's done. And so he's I'm not expecting him to miss any time.
Leave it to Hugh Freeze to not have him miss any time.
I don't think this was in Hugh Freeze's hands, to be 100% honest with you.
Do you think that then you don't think like any kind of internal investigation of like, hey, you were
there was a lot of
innocent,
investigation going on. I mean, Auburn's
like
Title
the Auburn
IX
name was through the mud, like one game, nothing like that. I don't know the situation that much, so I'm not going to pretend.
I'd be surprised. I mean, it sounds like internally, Title IX was certainly involved, and then they got enough where they felt comfortable for him to not miss any practice. So they clearly feel confident with their information, and then everything has been cleared since then. So my guess is no.
I'm in on due process.
Yeah, I mean, I think Auburn handled it the right way for sure. For sure. Malcolm Simmons is dynamic. He's missed a few practices due to family stuff.
Wait. Sorry, Zach. People are telling me I'm too nice in the crossovers. This is ridiculous that Malcolm Simmons is going to play. This is abhorrent. It is an obstruction of justice. It's just bad, Zach. It's just bad. If you need me to spell it out for you, you don't.
Go ahead. Oh, okay.
BAD. Bad.
Bad. Got it.
That's just my honest opinion.
Cheers, my guy.
God, I feel like Francesa. Just Diet Coke.
Any other roster notes on the Baylor side of things? On Auburn's side, I don't think anything else has really happened. They've been pretty healthy. Outside of running back, it seems like everybody's just kind of like slightly banged up at running back.
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of chatter and hype around their freshman. His name's Omar Mabson, local kid. And he's special. He just turned 18. He classified a year early. So like he's young. But there's kind of this ongoing debate within the Auburn side of things on like, is the chatter legitimate, or is it one of those things where you hear his name a lot in fall and then he doesn't play that year, which happens everywhere. So like I don't really know how legitimate it is.
Well, that was wide receiver last year. You said was going to have 1,000 yards. Is that right?
2 years ago. Yeah. 2 years ago.
It's a miss.
For sure.
Rare Zach Blackerby miss. And if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't running back kind of a area of concern for this Auburn team? That's what I've got some questions.
I've got some questions for sure. I don't know if I'm panicking or concerned quite yet, but I do have some questions. I wanted somebody to step up. It certainly could still be Darrell Robinson. It certainly still could be Damari Austin, but I do wonder if it allows Jackson Arnold to run the ball more, which he's far more athletic.
He's effective
than Sawyer Robertson at that.
Sawyer's sneaky athletic.
Okay, great.
He just doesn't need to run a lot.
I'd rather
needed to run a lot in that offense.
8 picks. Yeah, maybe he should run it more. I don't know.
Maybe some are saying. Some are saying. Okay, then let me throw this at you then, real quick, because I know we're up against it here. But is there going to be angst and concern amongst Auburn fans if the first drive of the game, Baylor gets the ball first, Sawyer Robertson miraculously does not throw a pick and then actually throws a touchdown, which he did 3.5 times more often as he threw picks.
Sure. Still not a great ratio, but sure.
And it's 7-0, 3-and-out punt. It's 10 or 14-0 after that. Is there then some real angst and concern about throwing, like, what do we have to do with this offense?
3 minutes into the season and Auburn's down 14-0. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'll put it conservatively 5 minutes into the season.
Doesn't matter.
I'll give Baylor
and Auburn's down 14-0. Like, yeah, I think people are going to ask some questions for sure. For sure.
With no running game, essentially.
Well, the running game becomes less important in this situation if you're down 14-0, right?
And Jackson Arnold, who just yanks it all over the place, has to throw.
Sure, doesn't throw picks though.
Well,
and actually has a higher completion percentage than Sawyer Robertson. And some are saying he played for a top 10 offensive coordinator last year. That's what some are saying.
He played 10 games and didn't start the season as a starter. But yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
He's basically still a rookie.
Yeah. Top 10 offensive coordinator picked the wrong quarterback. Oh my goodness.
That's money talks, baby. Money talks.
Yeah.
We do
was
have
that it? Was it Shapen?
No, it was not SEC bottom dweller Blake Shapen, but rather Daquan Finn from Toledo.
You could tell me that Blake Shapen played for anyone in any year, and I would believe you. I don't know why. I just would.
He's still playing, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Mississippi State starter. Yeah.
Projected to finish last in the Southeast Conference, I believe.
That's correct. Yes, that is correct. All right. Cam he does trivia stuff on his show. That's next, as well as more predictions for the game, because there's one other question I have for Cam Stuart, who has two first names, in just a second, right here on Locked On Auburn and Locked On Baylor. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Wayfair. If you wanted to give your home the refresh that it needed, where would you go?
Well, I would go to a place, Zach, that had every style for every home.
Yeah.
So I think I would start with Wayfair.
Yeah, summer's winding down, and there's just something nice about getting back into that routine you love. And Wayfair makes it easy to set yourself up for the season ahead.
Which
I can't imagine setting myself up anywhere
penny.
other than Wayfair.
I mean, yeah. Why would you?
Get organized, refreshed, back to the routine for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. It says to sing the jingle. You want to do that real quick?
Every style, every home.
That's wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Cam Stewart, Zach Blackerby, crossover edition. People like these. People like these. Got a feeling Baylor's not going to like this one as much, because I came a little mean. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
I'm asking you one last question.
Yeah.
What do you actually believe about this? Because a week ago you said it was close.
Yeah. Well, to be fair to myself,
and you haven't really backed off, to your credit. So, like,
yes.
What do you actually believe this game is going to do?
To be fair to myself, I think it's a blowout hinging upon a couple of things that may or may not be real. May be fugazi. But I do think it is a nip and tuck game. I don't think Baylor goes out 28-0.
A what type of game?
A nip and tuck, like a back and forth. You know, each team winning by hook or by crook. You know what I mean? I think there is a world where Baylor does get to the quarterback more, forces, some tough throws at the end of the game. Maybe it's just batted down. Maybe it's not intercepted. The kid doesn't throw picks. I think Baylor wins by a score.
Okay.
But that could be 7. It might not be 3. It might not be 2, which I was thinking a week or so ago. But
you don't believe they will blow out Auburn?
I think if they force 2 or 3 turnovers, they will. But in terms of just generally what I think about this game, a week 1 matchup, we only know from scrimmages. I mean, it's
barely week 1. I mean, it's closer to week 0 than most week 1 games are.
Almost
Friday
all
night.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
like a full day closer.
If I'm going to put it out now, I'm going to put Baylor by 1 score. And so I'm going to do it the highest 1 score it is, 8 points.
Oh,
how about that?
Okay.
30-22. Some freaky score.
I do think there's going to be weirdness to it. I don't hate that prediction. I think you're picking the wrong team, but I don't hate the pick. Okay. You do trivia at the end of your shows?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would love if we collaborated on a trivia question after I give the answer from yesterday, if that's okay with you.
Just do it real quick. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So the question yesterday was, in 1990, the only time that Baylor and Arizona State have met, this future Big 12 school won their only national championship. And that did go to the Colorado Buffaloes. So shout out to Billy. I called him Billy the Kid. He was the first one to get it in the comment section. So shout out to you, Billy. I can't offer you anything but another shout out. The question today, how about this, Zach? I cooked this thing up, all right? And I respect the Auburn fan base a lot. They've been great fans to deal with online, genuinely. Like, that's not BS. Seriously, I've had a great time. And I know they know their ball, so I'm going to ask a bit of a tough one here.
Oh, a tough one. But it's Auburn and Baylor?
It's related? Auburn and Baylor related. How about that? And the question is this. What Auburn quarterback that played in an FCC championship game started their career at Baylor? First one to get that right, either tweeting at us at Locked On Baylor or getting involved in the YouTube comment.
May I give a hint? Can I give a hint?
You know what? It's hard enough.
I don't think it'll give it away. I don't think it'll give it away.
He originally committed to Texas Tech.
He's from Texas. Was that too much? I don't know.
That is, I hope not. That's still tough. Good Texas football town too. Great Texas football town that he's from.
I'm giving another hint right there. You see that?
Yeah, I did. I could give some more, but I don't want to. I want this to be tough.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. That is a tricky one for sure. So what do? Do you just comment on the YouTube?
Comment on the YouTube, and you get a shout out if you're the first one to get it right.
Okay, I'll honor that too. When I record tomorrow's show, we'll look.
Go. I don't
know if anybody's going to get it right. Are people going to get it right?
Teaches the teacher a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else about this game? You wanted to say anything else totally unhinged, or are you good?
I'll bet it's going to be 68 degrees and raining on Friday night, August the 29th in Waco, Texas.
If it's raining, who benefits from that?
Baylor.
Of course they do.
I like their running back room better. Still, even with Caden Knight.
Yeah, I just think trench play is so unbalanced, in my opinion. It's just like the level of talent is so drastically different on the trenches.
I want to push back on that more. I just want to know more about this.
Dude, I was looking at
this offensive line's pretty good.
Recruiting classes, the 2024 recruiting class, which is like the bulk of your team at this point. And I had to scroll and scroll and scroll until I got to Baylor's class, 61st.
Oh, you're doing this off recruiting rankings from 2 years ago? That's what we're doing?
Those are the guys who are playing now.
Josh Cameron? No. Bryson Washington?
2023?
No.
Because y'all don't it's not like y'all dominate in the portal.
I mean, they've had most of their good starting pieces are portal guys.
Oh, y'all ranked 34th in
Michael Trigg,
in 2023.
Ashton Hawkins.
Yeah.
Keaton Thomas on the defensive side.
But it's wild because if you want to do the portal thing, it actually might be more lopsided.
Well, yeah, I didn't say Baylor. I didn't say Auburn's got a bad portal class. I didn't say that.
Okay.
You're just out here trying to give you a bit of the game based off 2 years ago recruiting rankings. I don't know.
Those are the guys who are starting now.
Some of them
are able to maintain your roster. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You can't act like that doesn't matter. I'm
not saying it doesn't matter at all, but I mean, look at the starting lineup. Like Sawyer Robertson, Bryson Washington, Michael Trigg, Ashton Hawkins, Josh Cameron. None of those guys are from the class of 2024.
Are they 23?
Some of them are transfers. Some of them are class of 2021.
Wow.
I believe in the case of Josh Cameron.
Is LeVar Thornton still there?
He's still there.
How's he doing?
Media availabilities. He's okay.
Yeah. 4-star corner. He's always highest rated player.
Yeah. He's going to start.
All right.
He's going to start.
All right. Yeah. There's Bryson Washington.
It wasn't the best class of all time.
3-star. Yeah. There you go. No, Bryson Washington's good. I like his tape. The more I watch him, more I like him. How can people check out everything you've got going on?
YouTube. We're putting out segments and shows on there, and wherever you get your podcasts as well. You can find us at Locked On Baylor on X.
And it sounds like a lot of Auburn people have already found you.
It sounds like it. And look, as long as you can be funny with it, I'm okay. What gets me is the people who are so angry and don't have fun.
Are a lot of things. Hopeful, passionate. They're also hilarious. 100%.
I'm in, man. As long as you're funny, I can take it all, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, don't clip that. Zach, I know they can find you at Blackerby.
That's right.
As the unofficial Locked On Auburn Twitter account and YouTube podcast.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. Yeah. Same place you find Locked On Auburn, you can find Locked On Baylor and vice versa. So please subscribe to both of our channels. Please like our videos and audio and all that stuff. For Cam Stuart of Locked On Baylor, I'm Zach Blackerby of Locked On Auburn. This has been a crossover edition of our shows brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network.
Your team every day.